They believe me when I say I'm gonna be home. Damn building that we be on. Get that rush from turn the scale on. I be dragging my nuts on you peons. Man, y'all wasn't gonna go live, y'all. I wasn't gonna go live. JB, doubt it, what it is. Yo, but I see what's going on the internet. And, man, because I had to. I had to, y'all. It's ready to get out of control. The false narratives is ready to go crazy. Like, now, the feds don't give bonds. So Big 30 must be telling. Like, come on, y'all. Like, oh, come on now. No evidence of the nigga telling, man. I'm gonna tell you what saved Big 30. I think the feds just got that video. I think the feds just got that video evidence. That's how Big 30 and the father got out on bond. They got lucky. They got that Video.Pooh right in time for Pooh Shiesty. That's what the fuck happened. Yo, niggas just be saying anything, yo. Like, yo, niggas just be putting anything on niggas' names and all type of wild shit. Yup, and I got the paperwork. Salute the flim flam. Salute the flim flam for dropping at work. Hold up. One nigga gonna go live, y'all. I'm tired of this shit. I ain't been getting no sleep. Flam Flam came through with the work. What the fuck is this shit? You asked me to put a passcode in for? Send this shit to my email. Niggas getting out of control, y'all. See what man, see what I got.
Yeah, damn things you cooking up. Why?
Crumb to a brick.
Go.
See what?
From a crumb to a brick, niggas broke as shit, they falling on. In the kitchen, whip a half a chicken off a 9 of song. Me work in the county, I'm the one you see, I'm final call. Wrong place, the wrong time, niggas cut his time. Shit, chasing all night, they gon' spend it till that money gone. They put their bread together, they call me to get some more stones. Ready rocks, trap phones, turning soft to hard work. Big sales waiting, I'm just trying to let them drive first. My paper straight, greedy still eating and I already ate. He a snake, back on you for crumbs, he could've got a plate. Damn plays, met me halfway, cause he couldn't wait. Straight drop, all he say is look, as good as it tastes. Dropping teas, come get two of these, I know they gon' chase. Cooking white, now the color butter, just like Landon Lake. Slow motion, better than no motion, keep a steady pace. My coke a knockout, it pack a punch like a heavyweight. He was a hustler, now we just a rat. Talents with the weight, just came up on a bomb, took a hit, now he can't feel his face. When it start to bubble, make it shake like an earthquake. They took him off, he green, like fuck he trapping in the first place. From a grind to a brick, niggas broke as shit, they falling on. In the kitchen, whip a half a chicken off a 9 of song. Me work in the county, I'm the one you see, I'm final call. Wrong place, the wrong time, niggas cut his time short.
Yeah, yo, this shit getting out of control though, y'all. Like, I don't know why niggas do this, yo. Like, yo, niggas just can't stick to the facts. Like, it's like niggas allergic to it. Like, they just can't do it, yo. Like, niggas gotta go off the rails and just start adding shit and taking shit away. And see, what I notice is a lot of these dudes, they don't have good takes, you know. So when you ain't got no good takes and you really like ignorant when it come down to law and shit like that, you gotta what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta sensationalize the story. You gotta sensationalize the story to get people's attention, or else niggas ain't gonna listen. Because what else are you offering? You feel me? If they're not sensationalizing the story, they don't have anything else to offer. They're not gonna give you no real good breakdown or nothing. You feel me? It's fucked up. I wish they stopped that shit though. Huh, Mo? Man, happy Thursday, man. Ball out. Yo, blank, bro. Y'all know I gotta let the doves out when I come in. Working all fucking day. She just sent some more paperwork over. So we just gonna go through this paperwork, y'all, real quick. You know. So at the very least, these niggas got all the paperwork as opposed to just little snippets and niggas telling lies. God damn, sent some more paperwork. What the fuck? How much paperwork dropped today? Shit, yo. Fucking dirty as a bitch. But yeah, well, y'all. Nigga sensational. Let's see the computer right here. Stop this bitch charged though. Of course it's not. What the fuck is y'all doing? Y'all go the fuck outside. Yeah, yo, these guys out of control, man. I look like I support Carmelo Anthony. I do. I support Carmelo Anthony getting a new trial. I believe Carmelo Anthony was railroaded. I believe the judge was involved. The prosecution was involved. Or, of course, prosecution was involved. But I believe the defense was involved. I don't think it was self-defense based off the evidence. We get some new information. But I also don't think it was first-degree murder. And I believe he got over-sentenced. Sarah. And, watermelon felon. Nah, I don't know if that's a proper assessment, Steve. I mean, Save America. Hey, Save America. You can't save America talking like that. Hate white people. I ain't got no fucking hatred to them. What makes you think I hate white people? I don't hate no white people. Why would you say that? You ever heard me say I hate white people? Have I ever alluded to hating white people? I love all people, man. I respect all people. But, you know, in order to get respect, you gotta give respect. You know, respect is a two-way street. And I don't hate white people. White people was fine with me. I'm probably one of the only ones on this internet that will admit that white people has been black people biggest supporters when it came down to the rights, you know, to justice in America. White people has been black people's biggest allies. Now, I don't know if you have, you know what I mean, based off how you talking, but a lot of y'all have, man. A lot of y'all fought hand in hand with black people, and still do to this day. Now, some of y'all in the comments, I don't know. I don't know what's up with y'all. I don't know what's up with y'all, man. I don't know where y'all. I don't know what part of the line y'all standing on. You know what I mean? Yo, y'all don't want to go outside no more? Y'all been in the house all fucking day, y'all. Go and get out. Nah. Where y'all coming from, y'all? Why y'all saying that? Do white people hate me? London Valentine? Now, if they hate me, hate is a very, I don't even use hate. That's a very strong word. What's up, Major? Baltimore, it's not a, ain't no-go zone for, who the, yo, Sarah, where you get this information from? Baltimore and Chicago is no-go zones for white people? I'm from Baltimore, man. White people walk the streets of Baltimore freely, man. East Baltimore to build it. Hey man, I got great kids. My kids has been raised great. You know? No trouble out of them in school. You know? Honor roll students. You know what I mean? Never had to have a parent-teacher conference. Never had the teacher call my house to say my kids did anything out of line. Yeah, I got the paperwork. Matter of fact, they took me off course. I got the paperwork. Hold on, what's on my phone? I'm gonna send it. I gotta send it to my email. I ain't leave the phone. I know I leave the phone in the car. What I was talking about was the lames pushing false narratives for clicks and views. But I'm ready to go through the paperwork. Man, Pooh Shiesty ready to get 100 years, man. He done. They might have to try to get with the prosecution and try to get some type of plea deal going. He done, man. They got that video. It's over. It's over. Ain't even nothing to fight now. They got the video. You got hella people testifying. You got a fucking security guard saying he's scared for his life, which is crazy. How you supposed to be security guarding somebody else, but you in fear for your life? Like, you should never be at fear if you guarding somebody else's life. And you would think. You would think that the person that's in charge of guarding somebody else's life shouldn't be scared of nothing. Does that make sense? Man, fuck Gucci. I ain't fucking with Gucci. Should have let that man out his contract when he asked him to. It's Gucci's fault all this went down, yo. You know, I know it's an unpopular opinion. But over here on Keep It G News, we blame Gucci for this shit. It's Gucci's fault. If Gucci would have let Pooh Shiesty know early on that it's just business, yo, we wouldn't be sitting here today, yo. If he'd have kept it real with that man and let him know, yo, we have a business relationship. Nothing more, nothing less. Pooh Shiesty wouldn't have thought that he could have just asked him to get out of his contract and Gucci would have said no. You know, I think Pooh Shiesty thought Gucci was going to do the right thing because, you know, that's his man. He looked at him as his man. More so than he looked at him as his boss. No, that's not why the first lawyer got the case. The first lawyer got the case because he had other cases. And it made more sense for this situation to get a lawyer that's from Texas. Not a lawyer from Florida. You know, it's different type of situations. Like in the Carmelo case, if she's still sending me shit. In the Carmelo case, it made more sense for them to get an out-of-state attorney. Just because of how publicized it was. But in Gucci, in this case, it make more sense to get an attorney that's from Texas. You never seen me upstairs before? Y'all, where the fuck is my other phone at, y'all? Hold up, y'all. Y'all, man. How much fucking paperwork dropped today, man? I don't know if we're gonna be able to get through all this paperwork today, y'all. She sent me 1, 2. She sent me a lot of shit. Hold up, y'all. I gotta send it to my email because for some reason I can't get into my my Twitter on my computer for some reason. I used to be able to. What the fuck happened? One, 2, 3, 4. 5. Yo, we ready to read the paperwork, yo, so make sure you hit that like button, share the live. Ready to get into it. Alright, hold on. Get my water. Now, y'all, let me show you the guys that inspired me to go live tonight. Cause I wasn't gonna go live tonight, y'all. I was gonna wait till this weekend to speak on this shit, y'all. But by this weekend, ain't no telling what the fuck is gonna be said about it. By the time, if I'd have waited this weekend, I can just imagine the narratives and the rumors that would have been spread. See, the only thing about cases like this, though, y'all, is when they got you like this, like how they got them, they don't be trying to give you no deal. They don't be trying to give you no deal, man. It's crazy, but that's how they be operating. He gonna do some serious negotiating. Like, man, look, man, please give me a deal. Yo, Pooh Shiesty make out with 20, he good. If he can get out of this situation with a 20 piece, that's a win. That's a win. They paying this nigga out to be a motherfucking mob boss. What you talking about, bro? So let me show y'all what prompted this live. While I go change my fucking shirt and wash my hands. I think the one dude name is Trilla Legit or something. and Stan G bluffing ass. True legit. Y'all know them niggas? Alright, let's go to Stan G first. Stan G. Listen to this dude. Check him out.
Oh my. Pooh Shiesty. Big 30. Now, let's keep it real. They got Big 30 phone. So they got the evidence from Big 30. A lot of folks saying there ain't no bonds in the feds. But Big 30 got a bond. Who you snitch on, Big 30? Who you snitch on? Now, it's more. Pooh Shiesty still locked up. Gucci Mane security saying he's scared for his life. He's scared for his children. Like, he in a place in life, he even saying he don't want his kids to go outside and play. Please throw Pooh Shiesty away. He said don't give Pooh Shiesty a bond and do not let Pooh Shiesty back out here in these streets. In the South, in Texas. They don't want to see him back on the streets. Gucci Mane security. But Gucci Mane played a part in letting Yo Gotti clear the song with Pooh Shiesty and Glorilla. So it's levels to the game, man. Either they push past the petty situation with the female, or Gotti went over his head. Or it's Gucci Mane trying to get that chick. It's all about the money, huh, Gucci? Gucci said he gracefully bowed out because he can't win in this situation. No, Gucci Mane can't win in this situation. Not on the street level, not on a business level. Well, maybe he can get some money so he can win the net on that behalf. But other than that, Gucci Mane's career is over with. What you mean, Stan G? Gucci Mane really ain't gonna never be able to go into that street persona no more. He turned his back on his fans when he did what he did to that young man, Pooh Shiesty. Now, my boss, they got a bond, and he trying to work his mojo. He working his mojo because the evidence room was robbed, and they got all the evidence. But if they got all the evidence, how they know they can't really work the evidence no more? They can't work the evidence no more if they ain't got it on.
Now this guy doesn't know a goddamn thing. So basically, y'all, I think Big 30 made out. I think he got lucky. I don't think they had this video evidence when he was granted bond. Then you got this guy. I'm just showing y'all the guys that prompted me to go live.
Big 30, if you're not going to tell him, I'm going to tell him. The feds do not give bonds 80% of the time unless you went in and cooperated or gave some type of evidence.
Yo, how you going to say that? This nigga leads off with, the feds don't give bonds 80% of the time. Yo, well, maybe Big 30 fit into the 20%, bro. Hey! Alright. Maybe he's part of the 20%. So what people gotta understand, yo, when it come down to bond, like I was explaining the last time Big 30 name came up. Yo, it's a lot of factors that go into bonds. You understand? It's the charge, it's the severity of the charge, what role you played in the alleged incident, criminal history, and what else? Basically, your threat to the community. All of that plays a factor in bonds in any case. Yeah, I caught a bond on a body, man. You understand what I'm saying? Know why? Because I didn't have a record. The role that was the alleged role that I played in the situation was minimal. Yo, you can get bonds, man. Based off information they had that they was going off of, I just was in the car. So, me being charged with murder is one thing. But the role that I was allegedly have played just by being in the car is another thing. And all of that stuff weighs in when you talking bonds, man. And it's like you got all these guys speaking on shit and don't know nothing. You can't just look at the charge and say, oh shit, he gonna get no bond. Yo, what if he ain't got no record? What if he ain't got no record? Carmelo Anthony he had a bond, $250,000. People get bonds, man. The feds normally let people out on their own recon. They normally don't even take money from you. They let you out on your own recon. With conditions. But these niggas, like I said, since they ain't got nothing else to offer, what it is, since they ain't. So you pull 3 gifts. The fuck is you talking about, Scotty? Scotty, y'all seen that racist ass comment you left too, y'all. Y'all don't start that racist shit. I had to delete it. Shit. Yeah, Scotty, don't do no racist shit, bro. Yo, what the fuck I did my black and mouth? My fault.
They're giving bonds now to low-level offenders, but when a case involves a big RICO and they don't know what's going on, now weapons are involved, they don't let those go. They don't let those go. See, Launcher Williams, they already knew he'd been a rat. He's already worked.
Yo, I don't think they didn't have the video, y'all. It's obvious why they got a bond. Because if you remember, their argument was there's no evidence, there's no video, there's nothing stolen. All of that was in their paperwork. They didn't have the video at the time. They got the video in time enough to stop Pooh Shiesty. And to be honest, that's who it looked like they're after. It looked like they want Pooh Shiesty. Not saying that they don't want anybody else. You know, they take who they can get. But I think Pooh Shiesty is the objective. If we can get Pooh Shiesty, fuck everybody else. They ready to nail Pooh Shiesty to the motherfucking cross, man. Straight up.
Worked with them before. Now, Big 30, what the fuck would you record the incident for? Even if you didn't. But I do know how many times they came to see you. Somebody that's in the tank with you. How many times did Big 30 go to lawyer visit? That's when they do it. When you go to lawyer visit, how many of y'all are in the tank right now? It's a lot of niggas on fair trial right now that ain't on bond and got a lesser charge than them. Niggas got grams and can't get a bond. So Big 30, why you ain't on here popping it saying free Pooh Shiesty and tell us, confirm to us that you did not make a statement, sir? You ain't got to prove it to me because I know. I motherfucking know. And y'all are going to separate and sever yourself from that indictment because you did not know there was going to be a kidnapping. Or there was weapons involved. You had a camera in your hand. So they look at you as the non-aggressive person. You're going to separate and you're going to get sentenced to less than 5 years. Pooh Shiesty finna get an elbow.
I'm already trying to figure it. I just had to get myself together. Yo, the reason why I was recorded is because this is a contract signing. Just in case Gucci was to try to, allegedly, based off, the shit that they shown. Just in case Gucci try to back out of this, we can go to the lawyer like, look, we got it on video. He signed the contract. Now, what should have happened was they should have used a phone that never been used before. Big 30 recording that shit off his own phone was crazy. Shouldn't have never done that. Should never record that shit off his phone. That was a bad move. Very, very, very bad move to record that shit off his phone. Alright, so let's get to the paperwork. My man Davey want to see the paperwork. Shalonda, what's up, baby? Yeah, that shit was stupid. This whole situation was stupid, y'all. I blame Pops. But like I said, yo, Gucci brought this on himself, yo. He brought this on himself. Telling you. He brought this on himself, man. If Gucci would have let it be known that it was just business the whole time, yo, Pooh Shiesty wouldn't have carried you like this, man. You gotta think, yo. You gotta put yourself, you know, when you're evaluating situations, you gotta look at it from all angles. You gotta put yourself in Pooh Shiesty's situation. You got this artist who you signed to that you probably looked up to at one point. He did look up to him. You hear how he talked about him before all of this. You looked up this man. This man fuck around play a role in who you is today. Now you signed to him. You rocking with him. You partying with him. You getting money with him. You willing to ride and die for y'all. You gotta remember that. And this ain't business. This is personal. I gotta make sure y'all follow me, man. This is personal. Everything I just mentioned was personal. So, you done built, at least in your mind, you done built this personal relationship with this guy. Now you going to this guy saying, bro, I went out. I went out. Now, based off of how you showed me that we are, I would think this should be no problem. It's my man. Hey, I know he's the label head. He's technically my boss, but everything he's shown me up to this point has been personal, not business. Now you showing me it's business. So now I'm thinking like, yo, did this nigga play me? So the whole time I'm thinking I'm really rocking with y'all. I'm willing to throw my life away for him. Part of the reason Gucci reacted like that to Jeezy at the battle is because he had Pooh Shiesty in them with him. I'm willing to throw it all away for this man. And you can't let me out the contract? Now I'm thinking you was playing me the whole time. The whole time I'm thinking I'm rocking with you, you rocking with me. You really were just manipulating me for business. You really just manipulated me for business. Made me believe we was cool. So you can keep making money off of me. Alright, I got something for you. Yo, Gucci gotta, it ain't all Gucci fault. Yo, but Gucci he gotta take some blame in this. This wouldn't have happened to motherfucking Scooter Braun. This wouldn't have happened to Scott Storch. This wouldn't have happened to Jay-Z. This wouldn't have happened to Diddy. So it's not about, it is white and black, but it's more so of some of these artists / label heads use predatory tactics to lure in artists. What I mean by predatory is they lead them to believe that it's something that it ain't. They had these guys thinking that, yo, we are a team. We are family. We look out for each other. So what if it comes to a time when looking out for each other is you letting me leave? Or is it only us looking out for each other when it's beneficial to you? Y'all get what I'm saying? This real shit. This stuff you ain't gonna hear on nobody else's channel, man, because niggas don't, I don't know why, but this is all the way real. And it don't get no realer. You understand what I'm saying? Alright, so let's get to the paperwork. Maybe. All that shit probably added to it. All that shit probably added to it. Alright, so hold on, man. Y'all got my cash apps and shit. Let me see. Where all the rest of them I sent? Only see two. I sent way more than two of them, bitch. Alright, so let's see what this is right here. Government response to Pooh Shiesty bail reconsideration. I don't know why Pooh Shiesty even trying to get a bond. You know you ain't getting no bond, bro. You wasting everybody's time, my nigga. The weight of the evidence against Williams Jr. is extraordinarily strong. Among other things, the government's case includes not one but 5 cooperating victims and witnesses. The victims' statements are corroborated by the digital and physical evidence gathered in the course of this investigation. The defendant's premature jurisdiction argument does nothing to rebuke the strength of the evidence and moreover fails as a matter of law. Williams Jr. has a criminal history that includes acts of violence involving firearms. Williams Jr. has previously demonstrated an inability to comply with the terms of supervision. Defendant Contractual Williams Jr. stands charged with kidnapping, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, Hobbs Act extortion, and conspiracy to the same. He was ordered detained after Magistrate Judge Taliver appropriately determined that Williams Jr. posed both a flight risk and a danger to the community if released. Williams Jr. now moves to revoke this detention order and requests the court impose conditions of release. However, his detention was and continues to be appropriate under the law. For the following reasons, this court should deny the defendant's motion and request for order setting conditions of release and should continue Williams Jr. detention pending trial. All right, we know what happened. All right, fuck it. We gonna read it. Can y'all see this? We gotta make it bigger. On January 10th, 2026, Williams Jr. and his 8 co-conspirators perpetrated the armed kidnapping and robbery of 3 victims in Dallas. Texas Music Recording Studio. Williams Jr., a popular recording artist who performs under the moniker Pooh Shiesty, also leads a Memphis-based street gang referred to as Chopper Gang. At the time of the offense, Williams Jr. resided in North Texas, fulfilling the final months of a 63-month sentence for conspiracy to possess firearms and furtherance of violent and drug trafficking crimes in a violation of the United States Code. As part of his sentence, Williams Jr. was required to reside in Frisco. That's right there where Carmelo Anthony shit was at. Texas apartment, and was supervised by case managers with the Bureau of Prisons, BOP. Contractors, Volunteers of America, VOA. Williams Jr. home detention included, among other things, requirements that he would not own or possess any dangerous weapon, associate with persons having a criminal record, or consume alcohol beverages, or use controlled substances, unless given specific permission to do otherwise. Williams Jr. was required by these conditions to remain at his place of residence. But Williams Jr. routinely failed to abide by these conditions throughout the course of his home confinement, assisted in skirting these requirements through the help of collusive VOP employees. Damn, that nigga had that nigga had the fucking monitoring people helping him out. Investigators have learned that Mr. Williams Jr. was involved in an inappropriate relationship with at least one of his VOP case supervisors. God damn. Yo, that nigga Pooh Shiesty great. Yo, he'll never get bond again, yo. He'll never get bond again in life if he ever get out of this. You was out here fucking one of the people that supposed to be supervising you. Hey, salute to yo, man. Shit, I don't blame him. I do not blame him. And that his VOP employee was actively involved in entering fake day passes that would allow Williams Jr. to travel to unapproved locations while he was supposed to be confined to his residence. This misconduct extended to the day of the kidnapping itself on January 10th, 2026. On that day, the employee entered 3-day passes, allowing Mr. Williams Jr. to travel and contacted him 19 times over the course of the day. VOA later terminated the employee for this conduct. Despite having VOA employees actively assisting him in skirting the requirements of his home confinement, Williams Jr. still managed to be formally written up for violating his conditions on at least 4 occasions. This included Pooh Shiesty was wilding. Providing a cold urine sample on November 8th, 2025, which was documented as a refusal, failing to appear for his urinalysis on January 30th, 2026, to which he claimed he was unable to secure transportation, failing to report for his bi-weekly check-in on March 3rd, 2026, and claiming that he did not have transportation to report for a scheduled urinalysis appointment on March 21st, 2026. When Williams Jr. asked if he could report the next morning for the test, VOA approved this request. Yet, he still failed to report. This nigga fucking crazy. Yo, what the fuck, shorty? Yo, Pooh Shiesty crazy, man. Jail was inevitable. He don't give a fuck. That nigga probably love it in that bitch. On the afternoon of the offense, Williams Jr. was written up for being at an unapproved location. VOA records support the statements provided by the victims and the witnesses that Williams Jr. was called and instructed to return to his home immediately, but that he ultimately failed to do so. Yo, God tried to save him. This God trying to protect you from yourself, man. You ready to do some dumbass shit and they called you dumbass and you didn't listen. That was his chance to turn around. Gotta pay attention to the signs in real time. Y'all know it ain't easy. Shit, I done failed at doing it a few times. Williams Jr. planned and executed the premeditated armed kidnapping to extort his way out of his recording contract. On the day of the offense, Williams Jr. lured Gucci, a music industry executive and owner of a record label, and the other victims to Dallas under the guise of participating in a business meeting. Williams Jr. had been signed to Gucci recording label for over 5 years. Though throughout much of his relationship, Williams Jr. was federally incarcerated. During his incarceration, Pooh Shiesty's father and purported business manager made numerous unsuccessful attempts to renegotiate the terms of Williams Jr. contract with RD, including trying to obtain the rights to Williams Jr. master recordings. Once Williams Jr. was released to home confinement in October 2025, he personally continued to push these negotiations. While RD remained open to negotiating certain aspects of Williams Jr. contract, such as his album payouts, RD was adamant that he would not give Williams Jr. the rights to his masters. It was under the pretext of continuing these negotiations that RD believed he was invited to Dallas. Oh, so he wanted his masters. Okay. So you know they got all this information from Gucci. And more than likely, they got text messages too to back up these claims. These boys done. On January 10th, 2026, Gucci traveled to Texas to attend this meeting with his photographer MM, his close friend BP, and his 2 former police officer security guards, CW and TD. Williams Jr. arrived at the recording studio meeting with Williams Sr., his fellow Chopper Gang leader, and Memphis recording artist, Big 30, his close friend, Kedarius Waters, and 5 other Confederates. At the studio, Williams Jr. spoke on the phone with what the victims believed was his parole officer, telling the person he was speaking to that he was not supposed to be out. After this call, Williams Jr. asked to speak to RD in a soundproof recording room adjoining the main control room, with Williams Sr. and Wright Jr. then joining the two in the recording room. Once inside the recording room, Williams Jr. demanded RD release him from his recording contract and produced a printed contractual release for RD to sign a copy. Sign. A copy of the release, printed by Williams Sr. at Staples hours before the offense, was later recovered from Williams Sr. emails. Damn, they got the contract too. Jesus Christ, they got everything. They got everything. Damn. They got everything, y'all. They got the video, they got the contract, they got it all. Damn. Gucci refused to sign the presented release paperwork, prompting Williams Jr. to instruct Wright Jr. to bring him his bag. When Wright Jr. returned with the bag, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol described by victims as a chopper, pointed at RD's head, and repeated his demand that RD sign the release of contract. Unsatisfied with merely obtaining the written release of contract, Williams Jr. announced that he wanted to film RD, and Wright Jr. recorded RD on his cell phone, stating that Pooh Shiesty dropped from 1017. All the while, co-defendant DeMarcus Glover, who had entered the recording room as the altercation ensued, blocked the door holding the Draco. These boys are done. Damn. Gucci got his hand in his pocket. I said, nigga, take your hand out your pocket, bitch. You can't have your hand in your pocket during a robbery. That's how you know they wasn't trying to kill him. After obtaining Gucci's signature and verbal release of contract, William Jr. robbed RD of approximately $450,000 worth of personal property, including his wedding band, a watch, a pair of earrings, and cash Gucci was carrying in his pocket. With signed release and Gucci's jewelry in hand, Pooh Shiesty, his father, forced Gucci back into the control room at gunpoint, hand raised. There, the violence continued, with Wright Jr. and two other co-conspirators blocking the exit door with firearms drawn, while the other co-conspirators robbed MM and BP at gunpoint. During the offenses, MM has described that he was choked to the point of near unconsciousness, while BP has recounted to investigators that Williams Jr. held the barrel of his Draco to the back of his head. Williams Jr. and his co-conspirators subsequently exited the larger office building, encompassing the music studio, through one set of doors, while Gucci, MM, CW, and TD left through the other, and called 911. No, Big 30 not snitching, bro. I think they just got this. I think Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty father bailed out just in time. They bailed out before they got all this information, because they didn't present this in their rebuttals to their bonds. They didn't present none of this evidence at all, which tells me they just got it, and them boys got lucky. Not Big 30 snitching. Alright, legal standard. He not getting no bond. It said Williams Jr. stands at the center of this armed kidnapping, robbery, and extortion. It was Williams Jr. who summoned the victim to Dallas. It was Williams Jr. who set the violence on January 10th in motion when RD refused his demands, pulling the Draco from his bag and pointing it at RD, and ultimately escalating an argument into an armed confrontation. It was Pooh Shiesty who brought with him armed gang members to a business meeting, betraying his own expectations that the encounter would devolve into violence. And it was Pooh Shiesty who, after robbing Gucci, facilitated physical violence and the threat of firearms from his co-conspirators to rob MM and BP and bar Gucci security from entering the room. Pooh Shiesty refused to be satisfied holding Gucci at gunpoint to sign a release. Instead, he continued to terrorize the victims by stealing their personal valuables. The victim statement provided to law enforcement on the date of the offenses, as well as their statements in subsequent interviews with investigators, recount that they feared they would be executed by Pooh Shiesty and his fellow co-conspirators. This fear is not unfounded. During the robbery that famously led to Pooh Shiesty's previous federal conviction, 2 victims were shot and wounded. For the victims and witnesses of Williams Jr. offenses, the trauma of this incident has not dissipated, which means it ain't go nowhere. In the subsequent months, with security officer CW recounting the fear he and his family still experienced in the letter to the court attached as Government Exhibit 9, taken together the circumstances of the offenses and Williams Jr.'s crucial role in its commission, this fact is weighed heavily in favor of his detention. Williams Jr. motion erroneously asserts that sum total of the government's case rests solely on a single victim, RD, who he further claims has now publicly recanted. Preliminarily, it is telling that Williams Jr. provides no exhibits, evidence, context, or citation to support the repeated assertion in his filing that any victim of this offense have publicly recanted. I was saying the same thing. Remember his lawyer said Gucci recanted his statements? I never heard that. That nigga put out a song detailing the whole incident. That nigga ain't recanted a goddamn thing. Aside from his assertion of the same, the government is presently unaware of any statements made by any of the victims that in any way challenge the consistent narrative provided to law enforcement since the very date of the incident. That RD was forced to sign a release of contract at gunpoint by Pooh Shiesty, that he was then forced to provide a verbal release captured on video, that he was robbed of his possessions inside the recording room, and that after his initial extortion and kidnapping, Pooh Shiesty and his co-defendants continued the kidnapping and the robbery of the victims in the control room. In April 2026, after each co-conspirator has been apprehended, investigators conducted follow-up interviews with all 5 cooperating witnesses and victims. Each remained consistent with their prior accounts and reaffirmed their cooperation with the prosecution. So that's letting you know Gucci is still snitching. Pooh Shiesty's contention that the single witness has recanted is unsubstantiated by anything in his motion and refuted by the victims and witnesses' consistent account of the offense. Yeah, Gucci's still telling. The government provided physical evidence at the April 8th detention hearing, leg monitor data, surveillance footage, and a receipt from Staples, and social media posts of stolen jewelry. Since then, it has recovered a copy of the release of contract. See, they just got this shit, y'all. And video of the kidnapping, both of which corroborate the victims' accounts. Williams Jr. claimed that no physical evidence exists is flatly wrong. They got it from Big 30s. Big 30 tried to break his phone. Well, he did break his phone, but they were still able to get the video. Even at this juncture, with the forensic review of seized devices and warrants return still ongoing, on a record this strong and still growing, the weight of the evidence factors favored detention more heavily than it did when Magistrate Judge Tyler first weighed it. Yeah, they got these boys. Williams Jr. argues that this is a genuine question whether the charged conduct a federal crime, and that this should weigh against his detention. He is wrong. As a threshold matter, this argument challenges only the kidnapping charge. Even if Williams Jr. was to prevail, the Hobbs Act extortion and conspiracy count would remain. Briefly entertaining the merits of his jurisdictional argument, notwithstanding that the proper vehicle to raise and litigate this concern is through a motion to dismiss. Williams Jr. misunderstands what. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Chloe, where you at? All right, my bad, y'all. I got dogs that like to lead the yard and shit. The government satisfies the interstate commerce nexus by showing that the defendants used any means, facility, or instrumentality instrumentality of interstate or foreign commerce in committing or furthering the offenses. Fifth Circuit's pattern judge. I'm tired, y'all. Y'all know when I'm tired. I be fucking up. Fifth Circuit pattern jury instructions. A cell phone is such a. We ain't gotta read all that. I ain't reading all that. All right, let's go to the other paperwork. Because they ain't getting no bond. But this, he got text messages. What the fuck is this? In this case, Pooh Shiesty used a cell phone to, among other things, send text messages to RD, coordinating the January 10th meeting, and to converse with a VOA employee from the music studio prior to the offense regarding his ongoing non-compliance with his home confinement location requirements. He encouraged Wright Jr. to capture RD's verbal release of contract using Wright Jr.'s cell phone, and he sent a call to arms to a group chat containing Chopper Gang members using an encrypted cell phone messaging application, Signal, in the days leading up to the offense, to gather an entourage to accompany him to Dallas. And look, they got the messages. Got the fucking messages. Can y'all see that? I need 6 serta for Saturday. Pulling up on WAP. Plus 2 drivers. Understood. What we need do. Bet. I'm there. Pull up on a where. Where I need to get to. I'm there. Let me know. I need drivers. Where you at? Bet. When y'all trying to leave out. Finna leave the A. It's on Shiesty. And who he picked to come. I got the cat in the tracks. These hoes drink gas though. Everybody get in touch with Katie ASAP. 911 is serious. Be ready. So y'all ain't driving? Damn. So they basically saying this is a federal case by the use of cell phones. And these niggas are supposed to be in different states. The evidence is more than sufficient to surpass the jurisdictional hurdle of federal prosecution for this kidnapping, and Williams Jr. assertion that defendant's phone itself must be used across state lines in furtherance of a kidnapping simply misunderstands the law. about his history. Well, in 2019, he got caught with a Glock 22 pistol along with 50-round drum magazines loaded with approximately 24 rounds, marijuana, and bulk currency. In July 2020, Pooh Shiesty reportedly threw fireworks at a gas station, drove away, and returned to the same vehicle, at which point an occupant of the vehicle shot at the gas station. On October 9th, 2020, Williams Jr. drove a lime green McLaren with a fellow chopper gang leader to commit an armed robbery. That's what he got booked for. If this pattern of violence was not enough, in May of 2021, while out on state bond, Williams Jr. shot a security guard at a club as he and his entourage were being removed from the venue. Prior to this assault, Williams Jr. had performed at this very club and had traveled to this performance armed. Yeah, Pooh Shiesty, wow, man. I blame his parents for this. Shorty ain't got no. He just think he can do the fuck he want. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. You can't delete that shit. Depending on how long it's been deleted, they can recover that shit, man. Cause my man Dirt case, they couldn't get some of the stuff they was looking for, but they got some things. I think it's depending on how long it's been deleted. State's Attorney Hanson has now obtained Williams Jr. VOA location pass information and has compared it to Williams Jr. GPS location. When she did so, she noticed 16 instances where Williams Jr. location pass did not match his actual location. Between December 5th, 2025 and March 3rd, 2026, text messages recovered from Williams Jr. phone show him reporting his true location, consistent with his the fuck I just missed. With his leg monitor data, by contradicting the VOP passes he submitted, further demonstrating his knowledge of entry of these false passes. He trust God's time, and he was fucking one of the VOA officers too that supposed to have been documenting his whereabouts. Pooh Shiesty was wild. As a condition of his home confinement, Pooh Shiesty was also required to abstain from alcohol and narcotics. Nevertheless, his text message exposed his ongoing failures to do so. Beginning around the time of his release from BOP, below is a sampling of some of these messages. Man, high and drunk. What was you drinking? Whatever the fuck that is. This conduct persisted after he committed the January 10th kidnapping and extortion. Alrighty, Benji. And in the words of his filing, knew of the investigation into him. So he knew he was going down. Playing GTA, getting drunk. You was drunk. Yeah, man, he passed out in the studio. And if alcohol consumption alone was not enough, Williams Jr. even admitted at one point to getting in a car accident while drinking and driving. Jesus Christ. Yeah, yo was out this bitch wilding for 3 months. It was only home for a few months. He is wild, yo. So, yo, this bitch, it was living wild and reckless. They was saying, fuck, hey, that song he put out made sense. Fuck the phase. That nigga wasn't just talking, he was living. He was living fuck the face. He feel me? Like, straight up. That nigga wasn't just talking that. Yo, live that shit, man. Yo, really came home like, fuck these niggas. I'm going back. The fuck you mean? If you let me out again, I'm going back again, nigga. Fuck, nigga. Love that shit. What you talking about, nigga? That's where all my guys at, nigga. Yo, Pooh Shiesty crazy, man. I think he was right. Ain't nobody slime as me, man. Yeah, he definitely was living a movie, Benji. He definitely was living a movie. Like, he really thought he was in the motherfucking Sopranos or Scarface or something. Like, yo, you was geeking, bro. So look. His own text messages betray his flamboyant attitude that he remains sober and clean. And Williams Jr. built his official record of non-compliance, while at least one VOA employee was actively helping him evade his conditions by entering fake passes so he can leave home. Even with an insider clearing the way, he could not or would not comply. This is not a defendant who can be trusted to follow a court's conditions, but one who treats them as obstacles to overcome. The danger here is concrete. Pooh Shiesty himself has shot at least 2 people across 2 separate incidents. He leads a Memphis street gang of roughly 100 members, a gang that, as Memphis gang detectives has already testified in this prosecution, commits homicides, robberies, carjackings, and firearm and drug offenses. And when a business dispute does not go his way, he resolved it by luring the other side to testers and putting a gun to a man's head. This is an individual who uses deception and violence to get his way. Yo, they ready to punish him, yo. Yo, he ready to get so much time for this. They fucking gonna get Pooh Shiesty about 50. He might get life, to be honest. He might get life for this, man. Straight up. And that's just me. That's me keeping it all the way real. That nigga might get life for this. As the monitor tracks where Pooh Shiesty is, but does nothing to stop what he orders done, put differently, Williams Jr. on his own possesses a real and present danger to the community. But even more so, he poses a danger through the power and control he asserts over his gang affiliates. As his message to fellow gang members highlight, Williams Jr. is a man who can summon an armed entourage at his will. He did exactly that for the January 10th episode, all while ordered confined to his home, and while wearing an ankle monitor. Detention does not erase his influence over the gang, but it does put a barrier between him and the people who carry out his orders. Pooh Shiesty's proposal to hire a private monitor offers no such barrier. Williams Jr. has already shown what he does with people he is assigned to supervise him. He compromises them. He carried a personal relationship with a VOA case manager who did his bidding and permitted him to travel beyond the bounds of his confinement, seemingly undetected. A monitor of his own choosing is, if anything, easier to corrupt than one imposed by the government. Yeah, I didn't get no bond. Cancel that shit. I don't know why I even fucking wasted the court time with this shit. Simplify your life. Oh, so this is his logs. This is logs right here. I guess of him not being where he's supposed to go at. And she sent me everything. Bought outside, food gave the option to throw away or eat outside. Called 15 minutes out the way. en route to VOA to complete task. Hold up, y'all. I said myself way more than this. Nah, Big 30 not telling y'all. I just put that in the title, yo, because I seen what's going on the internet. Big 30 got lucky. That's what happened with Big 30. They got everything. They got the contract. They got everything. They got the video. I think when Big 30 filed for his bond, they didn't have none of that shit. I think they got it now. Why the fuck they not let me send the fucking messages to my email? Let me send this shit to my Instagram. Damn, y'all, my fucking and my email is acting stupid. I must gotta erase some shit. Yo, so the one of the guys that got robbed, the security officer dude, wrote a motherfucking statement.
Says rapper Pooh Shiesty is simply too dangerous to be out on bond. The rapper's real name is Lontrell Williams Jr. He is asking to be released on bond ahead of his trial. And you may remember he and 8 other men, including his father.
He broke the phone, y'all. He tried to get rid of the video. He deleted the video and broke the phone. Nah, he ain't had to give no password. He deleted the video and broke the phone. Now they got it. All right, we ready to go downstairs.
Are accused in the January robbing and kidnapping of his record label owner, Gucci Mane. The other defendants, including Shiesty's father and rapper Big 30, they're already out on bond, but here's this new filing. Prosecutors argue Shiesty should not be allowed out under any circumstances. They say no condition of release can protect the community or witnesses against Williams Jr. from the danger he poses. It goes on to say the danger here is concrete. Williams Jr. himself has shot at least 2 people. He leads a Memphis street gang of about 100 members. Excuse me, they say he's a man who could summon an armed entourage at will. And they contend he did just that in Dallas in January. We'll let you know what the judge decides. The trial is set for February. The federal government says rapper Pooh Shiesty is simply too dangerous to be out on bond. The rapper's real name is Lontrell Williams Jr. He is asking to be released on bond ahead of his trial. And you may remember he and 8 other men, including his father, are accused in the January robbing and kidnapping of his record label owner, Gucci Mane. The other defendants, including Shiesty's father and rapper Big 30, they're already out on bond, but here's this new filing. Prosecutors argue Shiesty should not be allowed out under any circumstances. They say no condition of release can protect the community or witnesses against Williams Jr. from the danger he poses. It goes on to say the danger here is concrete. Williams Jr. himself has shot at least 2 people. He leads a Memphis street gang of about 100 members. Excuse me, they say he's a man who could summon an armed entourage at will. And they contend he did just that in Dallas in January. We'll let you know what the judge decides. The trial is set for February.
I gotta try to send myself the rest of these documents. So, Urban Politicians did a video. So the security guard, who was a police officer, who supposed to be securing Gucci, is in fear for his life, which is ironic to be, to be hired security. No, it's a problem. No, it's a problem when the security is scared. So listen to this letter that the judge wrote. Sleep through our urban politicians, man. I gotta try to send myself the rest of this shit.
Out in the documents being released, where he is pretty much begging and pleading with the judge to deny Pooh Shiesty bond today and in the future. Dear Judge, this is CW, a victim and survivor from the incident that occurred on January 10, 2026. First, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to provide my statement and response regarding the decision at hand concerning the bond for Latroy Williams Jr. I respectfully ask that Mr. Williams remain remanded with no bond due to the safety concerns for myself and my family. Mr. Williams was aware I am a vested retired police officer, and that knowledge did not stop him from committing these actions. Because of this, I am deeply concerned about what he may attempt to do if he is released. Out of all the victims involved in the case, I am the only one who lives in Texas, and I am extremely fearful of his ability to reach me or my family if he is granted bond. His actions show a disregard for the safety and well-being of others. These alleged crimes were committed while he was already under government-monitored release, which raises serious questions for me about what would prevent him from causing further harm if given another opportunity. Prior to this incident, Mr. Williams was given a second chance and was granted bail bond with monitoring conditions. Despite those conditions, he was once again accused of committing another crime that resulted in a person being shot. My wife and I are both afraid of what his mindset may be if he is released. Since the incident, I have found myself constantly watching vehicles passing by my home, worried that he or someone connected to him may attempt to harm me or my family. I have young children, and because of this fear, I have limited their ability to go outside and enjoy normal activities as they should.
Shiesty gonna stay in jail for a long ass time. Yo, Shiesty fucked that money up, man. I think he don't mind though. Shorty, he one of them niggas that he like a King Von, yo. Shiesty's like a King Von type. He don't mind jail. He be alright. He be alright.
Judge, I respectfully ask that you consider the safety and security of my family and me when making your decision regarding bond. I believe Mr. Williams being detained is necessary to protect us and prevent further harm. Thank you for taking the time out to hear my concerns. Respectfully, CW, Texas victim and survivor. Incident 1-10-26. Now that's what the
security guard is a bitch. Hey man, most of the time niggas get home, nigga ain't looking for you, bro. They got so much other shit going on in life. Right worry about your bitch ass, nigga. Alright, so now I sent myself the rest of the documents. So this is supposed to be urine samples. Pooh Shiesty. All this got filed today. Refusal to provide a urine sample. Refusing to breathe. He just was doing what he wanted to do. I said, fuck that shit. At approximately 1:39 p.m., client Pooh Shiesty was asked to produce a urine sample. The sample that he provided was cold and did not read between 90 to 100 degrees. So he used somebody else's piss and didn't heat it up. Like, come on, Shaw, you're not even a smart criminal, bro. Supposed to heat this shit up, bro. Put a thermometer in that motherfucker, nigga. You don't know how to beat a urine test, nigga? Put that motherfucker between your legs, nigga. Keep that shit warm. Alright. So I sent that twice. Release form. What's this? Termination and release. Oh, this is the contract. Damn, they produced the contract. All right, so this is the contract, y'all. Reference is hereby made to the agreement between 1017 Global Music and Contractual Williams, Pooh Shiesty, dated as of April 1st, 2020, the agreement. The following, when signed by artists and by a company, collectively the parties, will constitute a full termination and release of the agreement by the parties, except as otherwise provided herein. The terms used in this agreement shall have the same meanings and definitions as ascribed to them in the agreement, for good and valuable consideration. The receipt and sufficiency of which is hereby acknowledged, and notwithstanding anything to the contrary expressed or implied in the agreement. The following shall constitute a valid and binding agreement between the parties with respect to the subject matter hereof, the binding terms. Effective. Who the fuck wrote that? The Pops ain't write this up. Pops ain't write this shit up. Who the fuck wrote this up, man? Somebody wrote this up and gave us to Pops. And he copied and pasted that bitch. Ain't no way Pops wrote this contract. This contract like it's written up by a lawyer. But I don't want to get nobody no ideas. We're going to say Pops wrote it. Effective as of January 9th, 2026, the effective date, the parties agree as follows. 1. The agreement is hereby agreed to be of no force or effect and without limiting the generality of the foregoing is deemed to be void, whatever the fuck that stands for. 2. Notwithstanding anything to the contrary set forth in the agreement, the terms of the agreement is hereby terminated as the date of, as of the date hereof, in lieu of any other date set forth in the agreement. Company hereby forever releases and discharges artists from any and all claims, demands, actions, cause of action, suits, sums of money, accounts, covenants, agreements, including any and all prior or subsequent agreements and amendments to the agreement, contracts and promises in law or in equity, which company now has, will have, or at any time may have had against artists or successors and assignments, whether known or unknown to company, by reasons of any matter, cause, or thing whatsoever from the beginning of the world to the date hereof, including without limitations, any and all obligations to make or release any recordings or to make any payments to company or to any party deriving any rights from the company, including without limitations, any individual, producer, or musician, engaged in connection with the production of any albums by the company. Under the agreement, company acknowledges that artists will have no obligation to company for any reason upon the execution of this termination and release. Artists hereby forever releases and discharge company from any and all obligations under the agreement, other than those that expressly survive the termination of such agreement. However, for purpose of clarification, nothing contained in this agreement shall affect company's obligation to account to artists for royalties or artists' rights to conduct audits of company's books and records in accordance with the agreement, or except as specifically released herein. Artists' obligations and company's rights as provided for in the argument. Effective immediately upon the effective date, all rights, title, and interest in and to any and all intellectual properties created, authored, composed, recorded, written, produced, developed, or otherwise created by artists, whether alone or jointly with others, including without limitations, all musical compositions, lyrics, sound recordings, master recordings, audiovisual works, artworks, logos, branding, and associated copyrights and neighboring rights, shall be owned solely and exclusively by artists, free and clear of any and all claims. Like, yo, come on, bro. Hey, yo, what the Justin. Hey, Justin, come on, bro. I was just thinking the same thing, yo. I was just thinking the same thing. Who the fuck is going to sign this? Who the fuck is going to sign this, bro? Nobody's going to sign this. What the fuck? Yo, he was tripping. Yo, he was tripping. He wanted to take everything. He wanted to take everything, man. Like, yo, man. Come on, bro. You could at least, like, I don't know. What the fuck you could have did. Free and clear of any and all claims, liens, security interests, or encumbrances by a company, to the extent company has ever acquired, claimed, administered, licensed, or held any ownership interest in the artist's IP or any portion thereof. Through this agreement or otherwise, company hereby irrevocably assigns and transfers to artists all such rights, title, and interests, including all copyrights and renewals, extensions, and all rights of termination, reversions, or recapture, effective as of the effective date. Company shall execute and deliver any documents reasonably requested by artists to confirm or effectuate such assignment and ownership. Company acknowledges and agrees that as of the effective date, any artist's IP that may have been characterized as work made for hire or otherwise owned or controlled by a company shall be deemed fully reverted to artists, and company waives any claim that the artist's IP constitutes a work made for hire for company. Yo, Gucci wasn't getting nothing out this deal. Nothing. Like, absolutely, positively nothing. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck? This nigga was wilding. Yo, he was wilding, yo. What the fuck is this? As it relates to company's agreements, company hereby agrees to pass through to artists all approval rights, control, and consolation rights granted to company pursuant to the Atlantic Agreement. All such approval rights, including without limitations, recording elements of the Atlantic Recording Agreement, shall be exercised by artists in artists' sole discretion. For the avoidance of doubt, all business matters and decisions, including without limitations, in connection with the negotiation of any amendment thereto, shall be exercised exclusively by artists. Dang, shorty. Yo was wild. Ain't no man in America gonna sign this shit, shorty. He was even trying to take money that Gucci made. Like, he wanted all that shit. Nigga, you don't make $1 off me. Nothing. I even want the money that you made previously. Nigga, hand that shit over. Company hereby wants and represents that company has the full right and power to enter into and fully perform this agreement. And B, company agrees to and does hereby. What the fuck? Indefinitely. I don't know that word. Save and hold artists harmless of and from any and all loss and damages, including reasonable attorney fees, arising out of or connected with any breach of company or any warranty, representation, and or agreement made by company herein. Company agrees to reimburse artists on demand for any payment made by artists at any time with respect to any claim or liability, or for any loss incurred in respect of which artist is entitled to be, whatever the fuck that word is, indemnified. Following the full execution hereof and subject to the terms hereof, artist shall have the right to negotiate in its sole discretion with Atlantic Records or any other third party for artist services. He talking about Atlantic now. But, yeah, man, no, Gucci, he was signed to Gucci. So basically what he's saying is, after this, if I want to be able to sign to Atlantic exclusively without you. Basically what he's just saying right here. It is the parties' intentions in entering into this agreement that the same should be effective as a full and final accord and satisfaction and release of each and every matter referred to herein. The parties further represent and warrant to the others that each is familiar with the provision of California Civil Code 1542 and expressly waive and relinquish any and all rights and benefits that they may have under that rule to the fullest extent permitted by law. Such section states that a general party does not extend to claim that the creditor or releasing party does not know or suspect to exist in his or her favor at the time of executing the release, and that if known by him or her would have materially affected his or her settlement with the debtor or release party. So they reading the rule. I ain't reading all that shit. Look, yo, look. Look, very truly yours. Look, they wrote 1017 at the bottom. You think it's crazy? They wrote 1017 at the bottom. Look, Gucci, I just need you to sign this like you wrote it. Basically, that's what Gucci need. They needed Gucci to do. Sign this like this is your words and not ours. And I'm going to sign right here. Yo, they was wilding, yo. They was wilding. Yo, that contract is crazy. God damn. That's it. And that's all, folks. They got the contract. They got the video. They got him. Gucci still snitching. That ain't changed. Damn. That's crazy. Yo, I had no idea that contract is gonna be written like that. Like, for real. Like, I was thinking that maybe he was gonna let him have, the shit that he had previously. No, he wanted it all. That nigga wanted everything. You don't make $1 off me. What the fuck? Somebody in the joint must have told him that shit. They go, just give him the sign you out the deal, yo. Nigga don't deserve to be eating off you anyway, man. You want all royalties, future and present. All music that, like, he even wanted the back catalog. Like, he even wanted the back catalog. He didn't want that nigga to make no more money off of him at all. Yeah, they done, bro. You cancel Christmas for the next 40 years. That nigga done. They gonna give you a boatload of time for this shit. Watch what I tell you. That shit gonna make that nigga head spin. He fuck around collapsing that bitch. How much time he gonna get Pooh Shiesty? I don't even think they necessarily want anybody else. Big 30 probably make out with less than 10. Pop's gonna probably get about 10 or more, probably 12. Anywhere from 10 to 15. But Pooh Shiesty? That nigga gonna get somewhere between like 30 to life. Watch. Pooh Shiesty's gonna get anywhere between 30 to life for this shit. I don't know about the mother niggas. But yo, we done, yo. We read the paperwork. I just wanted to get this out there, yo, because I see the internet and doing what the internet do. They putting snitch allegations on Big 30 name. I think Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty father just got lucky. They just got, you heard it in the video, in this paperwork, they just got this shit. Like, it came in right in the nick of time. You feel me? I mean, for them, you know, for the feds, to keep Pooh Shiesty incarcerated, but Big 30 and them slid through the cracks. That's why they was trying to hold them niggas up. They out now. You can't bring them back. Unless they violate some of their conditions of bond. But other than that. Damn. Damn, yo. This one of them situations like I used to have nightmares about when I was locked up. Like, when they got you like this. Oh my God, that gotta be a sickening feeling, yo. That gotta be a hurtful feeling. Like, yo, they got us, like, all the way. Like, it ain't no beating it. You got 5 witnesses testifying. They got the contract. They got the video. They got the fucking the GPS monitoring. They got them. Like, they better hope they try to get a plea deal. But like I said, in situations like this, the feds might make you fight. No, we don't want to, no plea deal. You're going to fight this shit. You're going to lose. And we're going to sentence your ass to the max. We're going to give your ass 300 months. Damn. Yo, make sure you hit that like button, y'all. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you need, make sure you share the live. We got to get the truth out there. I'm ready to probably change the title. Snub there, keep it G News. And I'm out.